So, working on what I wanted to talk about this weekend, and I was doing some reading and how our own self-esteem and what our self-beliefs, how that affects us in a positive and negative way. I was reading about some athletes and how they feel and how they move to the next level. So it kind of created a question for me. How many things have you not done? Listen to the question. How many things have you not done or tried because you lacked belief in yourself? How many things have you not done or tried to do because you lacked belief in yourself? I think that happens to a lot of us probably on a daily basis, doesn't it? You know, certainly in our life we can look back at offers we didn't make, at skills, at businesses we didn't get involved with, as doors we didn't knock on. I'm working with a lot of you today, working on moving you up to your next level in terms of production, in terms of money that you earn. Some of you have never earned, $100,000 a year, or $200,000 a year, or what it's like to earn and to have $500,000 that you've earned, that you can look back and see what it takes to do that. Or maybe you've never experienced having or living in a $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 house. One of the things that we talk about is just, there we go, preview more property in that price range, and it'll help you become more comfortable with the properties. And I hear that on my coaching calls every single week. How, wow, I looked at a few more properties in the more expensive range, and I felt a little bit more comfortable with it, and we're growing, and we're starting to take listings in the higher price points. It's our mind that's preventing this. So I wrote down here, many fail to believe in themselves because others didn't believe in them. Moms, dads, I mentioned I had great parents, I have an amazing wife. I mean, the truth is that they believed in me. I was very, very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. I know that that's not every kid in every family that happens to. Yet, so much of that is we're put upon and we're put down that we need to work through that. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Think about that. No one can make you feel inferior, bad about yourself, without your consent. Yet self-doubts creeps in. Doubts like, can I really do this? Other people are better than I am. Other people are smarter than I am. Other people are more worthy than I am. We might think, well, what if I try this and I fail and it doesn't come out quite right? People are going to laugh at me, and it's going to make me feel bad. So I'm better off not even attempting that for sale by owner, or not even attempting to go see those properties or to knock on those doors. What I want you to do, what I want you to think about in this talk that we're going to have for a few minutes this morning, is I want to think about working on supercharging your self-belief, supercharging how you feel about yourself. A little thing, a very, very tiny thing, is you get up in the morning, and I tell this to guys and gals all the time. I don't care if you're prospecting from home. I don't care if you're coming into the office and you don't expect an appointment, or you don't have an appointment, and you don't have a lead. Let me tell you something. When you get up and you shower and you clean yourself up and you shave, or you do whatever women do and paint their nails and make themselves look really, really pretty, and get your hair done in the right way, and then you walk out and you come to work and you get in front of that phone, you feel better. You're ready to go to work. as opposed to coming in, having your sweats on, maybe your hair isn't combed. Nobody's going to see me anyway. And then you get on the phone and you try to get business that way. There's a difference. Do you understand that? Does that make sense to you? You need to really get involved with this. It's supercharging the belief in yourself. I wrote down, remember, self-belief is learnable. This is huge when I read this. Self-belief is learnable. Your level of self-belief is not set in stone. We can be flexible and we can change. Listen to this thought. You were born into this world with no sense of what you could or couldn't do. Think about that. You came out as a baby and you didn't know that for sale by owners were mean. Think about it. You learned that. It's not even true. But somebody said that to you, and you didn't know what to say and how to say it, so it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger in your head, and maybe you did finally go to a for sale by owner, and that person was gruff or mean, or they just asked you a question you didn't know an answer to. Simple. So let me ask you something, how much does that house sell around the corner? And because you didn't preview property, you didn't know. How would you feel about yourself? Be horrible. Would you go to another for sale by owner after that? Probably not. Unless, of course, you started previewing property. You worked here and you learned how to preview property. No, that'd be good. Well, we'll move on here. You were born into this world with no sense of what you could or couldn't do. Then bit by bit, conversation by conversation, comment by comment, from family, friends, students, teachers, etc., they started to teach you to what? Limit yourself. To limit yourself. A very young child never says, I'm not the kind of person who could. They don't say that. They always say they can. I can do that. I can fly. I can do this. You say, well, they buy this. You go in the store, in the Toys R Us, and they pick out this big giant Lego. It's got 62 million pieces in it. You're going to build Mickey Mouse, life-size Mickey Mouse, right? You're at the Lego store. You know what, son? I think as a starter, that's probably biting off a little bit more. Nope, I can do that, right? In fact, they start crying. They get mad at you because you won't let them do that 62 million piece Lego set. Think about it. Kids they don't feel that way. Then, of course, we tell them you can't do it. 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 Until at some point, guess what? They don't think they can do it. It's horrible. And we did it. Because somebody did it to us. You get it? Yeah. I forgot if it was Meg or Linda or maybe both of them. I am convinced that you are all capable of far more than what you think you are capable of. I am convinced of it. I see that every single day. I have a unique opportunity of being able to watch and see what people do to themselves and for themselves. Believe in yourself. Believe a little bit more in yourself. Think of yourself as that little kid. Each of you has that little kid that's buying the 62 million piece Lego set. By the way, they do have that set. You can get it at Disneyland. Okay, do not take your grandchildren there. So, wow, that's the one I want. So one of the first steps I wrote down here is to re-examine and discard many of the limiting ideas that you have about yourselves. that you've collected along the way, that you have dealt with. Those are it's the inner voice. I want you to deal with what I call the inner negative voice. When you start to doubt yourself, listen for a moment. When you start to doubt yourself, listen for a moment to that negative inner voice and question, whose voice is that really? Mom, dad, aunt, uncle, who said you couldn't do something. It's not you, because the truth is that you didn't know that you couldn't door knock and phone canvas. You didn't know that you couldn't sell $20 million houses. You didn't know that. By the way, $20 million houses sell every single day and close escrow almost every day in this country. Did you guys know that? Well, why aren't you part of it? It's not because they're better and you're worse. It's simply because they think you can and you doubt if you can. That's the only difference. Because when they were little babies, no one said they couldn't. Somewhere, someplace. It's always our parents' fault, right? So whose voice is it? A parent, an old school bully, a collection of different voices from different people? One thing's for sure, the inner voice wasn't yours originally. It is now, but it wasn't originally. So what you need to do is you need to stop. And you need to tell yourself, that is not my true voice. That is not who I am. And you start to challenge it. One step at a time. One success at a time. One preview of a higher price home in a higher price neighborhood at a time. Working on one more script at a time. Getting one more objection covered and being able to handle at a time. I wrote down there's 4 ideas here that I'm going to blast through quickly on helping you develop your self-belief. Thought number 1, not necessarily in any particular order. Set bold but realistic goals. Bold but realistic goals. Sometimes when we set unrealistically high goals and we try to achieve them, we fail and our self-belief drops. You come to me and say, you're doing, say, 5 or 8 transactions, 10 transactions a year, and you say after a meeting like this, that's it! I'm going to do 100 deals in the balance of this year. And I say, whoa, 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 calm down. No, you don't believe in me. I hate you. I'm leaving. Jeez, that worked well. But it happens, right? You do 10, 12 transactions. Let's set a plan to get you to 15 to 20. Okay? We'll set a plan. We'll go through it. We'll monitor it daily, weekly, monthly. We'll take a look at it. What are you doing? What's going on? And at the end of 90 days, we'll readjust it. We'll readjust it up. We can readjust it down. We can modify it. We're going to go this way or we're going to go this way. But don't hurt yourself by setting unrealistic goals. Number 2, learn to see your accomplishments. Learn to see your accomplishments. Most of us tend to filter out what we're doing well and look at and identify what we aren't doing well or aren't good at. Okay? Case in point. I think you should see 5 previews a day, 5 days a week for 240 days. Okay? That's what I think. You see 3 houses a day, 5 days a week, for 240 days, and all you think of is you've failed. And I look at you and say, yes! Look how many houses you previewed. You don't see that. You get what I'm saying? You did a great job. You did a spectacular job. You did a job that most real estate agents never do in their career. And you feel bad about yourself because you didn't do my goal for you. You have to do your goal for you. You guys get this? Now, am I making sense here?
Yes.
Point 3. Cut down on comparing yourself. I'm not going to tell you to stop it, because that's just how we're made up. We tend to always seem to compare ourselves. We just do. But cut down on comparing yourself. Comparing yourselves to others is a losing battle. No matter how good you're at something, in this vast world, there's always someone that's a little bit better, a little bit prettier, a little bit richer, a little bit taller, a little bit thinner. There just is. Get comfortable with who you are and work every single day to making you a better what? You. A better you. That's what we're working on. Every single day. I wrote down here, comparing yourself to others will make you feel as though you're not really good at anything, which again sabotages what? Your self-esteem and gives you more self-doubt. Point number 4. I wrote down here, develop yourself. Develop yourself. Be a lifelong learner. Aim always to better yourself in everything you're doing. You're writing scripts and you write 5 a day. Move it to 6. One more. One more a day, 5 days a week. You write it down. Over 240 work days is a lot of sentences more, isn't it? Right? Say yes. Yes. It's a simple little thing, but you're working toward the next point. Develop yourself. Move and grow as a person. Establish today, there's still May, it's 5, what is there? 8? 7 months? 7 months left in this year. By the way, write this down. Christmas is coming. Christmas is coming. Time is running out. Time is running out. It's May. It's May 5th. It's crazy. We just had like a New Year's Eve party. Right? We're all sitting, everybody's enjoying themselves. It was just New Year's Eve. It's Cinco de Mayo. This is nuts. I wrote down, so we need to continue to develop ourselves. Self-belief is a reflection of how good you are at handling the various aspects of your life. Health, energy, wellness, taking care of your health, taking care of your energy, taking care of your family, doing your job every day, every week, every month, every day, every week, every month. And remember this, my final thought. Today matters. Today really matters. Work on being a person of your word. Work on being a person of your word, not just a person that's about nothing. Doesn't hold water. Okay? At the end of the day, we have our word to the world, and we have our word to ourselves. It's truly the most important, the first one, I believe, that builds character is the word to yourself. Okay? That's what builds character in life. One of the most important things we can have is good character. Okay? And good character, in a large part, starts from there. It starts from if I say I'm not going to eat whatever it is I'm not going to eat, whether somebody's standing there or not standing there, I don't eat it. Because I made a promise to myself. If I say that I'm going to door knock 5 doors and preview 5 doors today, whether another agent is there doing it and watching me and holding me accountable or not, that's my job. That's my promise to myself. Can you imagine if you did this, if you kept all your promises to yourself? Think about the last 5 months. What if you kept the promises that you just made to yourself? Think about anyone else. You know that morning when you wake up and say, that's it! I've had it! I am going to finally do what that man has been telling me to do. I am going to do it. I am going to preview 5 doors today. Gonna do it. Today. After I have breakfast. What are we having for breakfast? Oh, there's no eggs? Oh, I got to go down and get some eggs. You know what I'm talking about. But you were there. What if you, that's all for the balance of May, your gift to me, okay? Even if you didn't want to give me a gift, I'm that kind of guy. I love presents. I would love this present, okay? You guys with me on this?
Yes.
Okay. Make whatever promises you're going to make to yourself. This is between you and yourself. Not me. Don't have to tell me anything. But whatever you tell yourself, do for the month of May. And then at the end of May, May 31st, come to me and say, these are the 3 promises I made to myself. Now, I don't care if it's business. I don't care if it's weight related. I don't care if it's eating habits. I don't care if you want talking about hugging your children 1 more time a day. It's your promise to yourself. But write it down so that you remember what the promise is to yourself. And then keep those promises. Don't make a lot of them. Don't make a lot of them. A few. Under promise and over deliver. Okay? This month of May. Under promise, over deliver, promises you made to yourself, and then on the 31st of May, come to me and say, Neil, these are the 2, these are the 3, these are the 4 promises that I made, and I kept these promises through the month of May. That would be the greatest gift that you could give to me. Ladies and gentlemen, today matters. It starts today. Your tomorrow starts today. Let's get out there and make it happen. Thank you very much.
Pretty bus.
Hey, buddy.
64. I remember the 60 when we were dancing.
Yeah, you remember when I was 40. You remember when I was 40. Oh.
Hey, Boz, you don't have to go on your knees.
Jeez. I have to because I'm not sure I'll get back.